Right, hi, my name's Rochelle, and this is not going to be a knitting or weaving or spinning video. This is actually a quick introduction to my health journey so far. At this point I have had a hysterectomy due to endometriosis and a bowel resection also due to endometriosis, varicose veins removed, and I'm having sinus issues and a whole bunch of other stuff that may or may not be related. At this point what I'm thinking is happening is that I probably have a fairly overwhelming candida issue. There's a number of reasons I think this. Number one, most of the symptoms that candida can cause I can put a tick by, and number two, the main things that make you vulnerable to candida I can also put a tick by. So things like being female, that makes you more vulnerable, having had babies, 2 of them, having been on the pill. I was on the pill from about 14 through to my late 20s, so well over a decade. Another thing that can cause it is antibiotics, and like most people I've been on antibiotics on a number of occasions. In fact, I've just come off one lot in the attempts to treat the sinus issues I've been having, which has failed but has probably done a right number on all the good bacteria that I had left. And the other thing is my diet. Up until relatively recently, as in a few weeks ago, my diet was appalling. We're talking lots of sugar, lots of carbs, not much in the way of greens, and a reasonable amount of fruit. So basically all the things that feed candida, and they also feed all the bad bacteria as well. So the likelihood is that I've got bad bacteria and bad fungus. Now I've done the online test on Eric Becker's website. I'll try and remember to put something in the comments as to where you can find that, but I came out with a 93% chance of actually having a candida issue. I have bought his book, which is called Candida Crusher. Comes out at about $80 New Zealand, so it's not cheap, but it is pretty darn comprehensive. So at the moment I am on the first stage of his diet, which he calls the MEVI diet, or meat, eggs, vegetable, yogurt. And when he says yogurt, he doesn't mean the type you buy from the supermarket with flavours and sugar and all that. He means the type that you make yourself using acidophilus capsules. I'm cheating a little bit. I'm using the Easy Yo and the Hansel's ones from the supermarket, which come in a packet with no sugar. The ones that I'm using the Greek unsweetened ones. So they basically come with all the acidophilus and the milk powder and everything already in them, ready to go. I pop them in my Easy Yo yogurt maker, and they make a really good sour yogurt, which I know is full of all the good stuff because it doesn't turn into yogurt if the good stuff isn't there in the first place. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I'm just about to start going on to the antifungals. I will be ordering Eric's ones, which are called Canxida, which is C-A-N-X-I-D-A, but they're currently out of stock, so I've got to wait. Those are hideously expensive. It's going to be probably over 500 New Zealand, especially if Customs stops them, because Customs probably will to get the GST on them. So ignore the banging noise, that's the cat trying to get in through the front door instead of using the cat door like she should. So in the meantime I'm using some that I've got from iHerb, which are yeast something or other. I don't know what they're like yet, I guess I'll find out. I've got some probiotics as well, which I'm also taking, and I'll be adding more of them in, because of course as I kill off the overgrowth of candida, I need to replace it with something good. So that's got to happen. I am also increasing my exercise, which has got to be a good thing, and I'm on top of that also seeing an osteopath and an acupuncturist and a chiropractor, because I've also got issues with my neck, and I'm hoping that the acupuncture and the osteopath will also help remind my body what it should be doing when it's working properly, because at the moment it's just not working properly. So at the moment my symptoms involve problems sleeping, fatigue, some sinus issues which basically make me feel a bit out of it. So I've got pressure in my sinuses as well. I've got neck issues which may or may not be contributing to the sinus stuff, but I know the sinuses are inflamed because the doctor could see that. I've got muscle aches and pains, brain fog. Basically you go through the list. I'll give you some idea of my list. Is here. The list, which hopefully you can see. This is my first time using the camera like this, so basically we've got neck and shoulder pain, headaches, dizziness, itchy ears, which is inside the ears, which is really annoying. I get fungal infections, wrist pain, chest flutters or palpitations, joint pain, the lymph nodes in my groin are usually a little bit grumpy, stomach pain, bad breath, my husband can attest to that one, especially in the mornings, some rather nasty sweaty things at times, as in smelly, bowel pain, though of course that could be also partly due to the surgery, though that was December 2015, so most of the healing has been done. So there could just be a bit of nerve involvement, but I think it's more likely to be that the bacteria levels in there are just wrong. Skin breakouts, tooth pain, the endometriosis of course has been linked to Candida, so that's highly likely to be a problem. Itchy eyes, itchy throat, sore ears, lots of gas, no libido, that is a common problem. Memory issues, especially with names and words. I'm fine with things like where did I leave this or that, or when one of the family members says, "Mum, where's such and such?" No problems there at all. Names on the other hand, yeah, that's a problem. I can be grumpy, I occasionally get blurry vision, but I've had my eyes checked out, there is nothing wrong there. My tongue is usually coated, which is another sign. Dry mouth and throat. I crave sweets like nothing on earth, so that's another sign. Dandruff and itchy scalp. Cold hands and feet. I'm actually starting to get chilblains again this year. So yeah, that is the list, and give you an idea of the sorts of things I crave. Sweets, chocolate, potato chips, which I think in America are called crisps, which also have sugar in them. Hot chocolate, which my hot chocolate used to be a teaspoon of baking cocoa and a heaped teaspoon of sweetened condensed milk, plus milk and hot water. So quite a lot of sugar in that. I love potatoes, I love cheese, I love bacon. Every bacon has sugar in it. I've not found one yet that hasn't. Jam, oranges and mandarins, basically all the sweet stuff. So I've been reading lots of labels now, and I've found that I can't have my favourite chicken because my favourite chicken has been injected with stuff to make it stay moist when it's being cooked. One of the main ingredients, maltodextrin, which is the sugar type. So it's basically meant I've got to go fresh for most things, Nothing from packets at the moment apart from things like dried coconut, no dried fruits, and there's a whole lot of other things that are off the menu. The only crackers that I found that I can actually have at the moment, because I have issues with some nuts, are these guys, which is a paleo or paleo, I don't know how they pronounce it, 4-seed nutrient cracker. I'm hoping it's okay because it's actually got flax seeds in it, and those can sometimes be a problem for people with endometriosis. As I said, a lot of nuts are a no-go. Some of them because they're prone to fungus, and you can't have anything that's prone to fungus until later on in the diet. Some of them because I'm sensitive to them, so hazelnuts and cashews. Hazelnuts I think I'm actually allergic to, which is slightly different. So yeah, and some of them just because they're so blimmin' expensive. As it is at the moment, I am spending a huge amount on my healthcare, and I really need to get this turned around so that we can start saving up for retirement. And retirement would be a lot more fun if I'm feeling well as well. So anyhow, that's it for me for the moment. I'm going to do reports from time to time on how things are going, a bit more on what I'm eating and what things I'm actually taking, so that you can actually see how things go, and hopefully in 6 months or maybe even longer I will be feeling really good. That's certainly what I'm planning on, and maybe even with the osteopathy and the acupuncture and all that, that may actually speed things up. So fingers crossed, and wish me luck.